Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Facebook Live. I haven't shared with you for a little while any of the kits, but I did share some photos of this particular kit. So this one I've had for a little while now, but actually haven't got around to putting it together. However, I did open it up earlier today just to take a look at the pieces in there and get my head wrapped around it. So this kit is called Heirloom Arrangements Kit. There's 8 different cards, which makes it a little bit different from other kits where normally you might do 4 of each. So this one is 8 different cards. So I thought I'd share with you 2 of them tonight, and I'll make up the other ones and share those with you as well. So it's a really beautiful kit. So let me go through the pieces that you get in this kit. Obviously, you do get your instructions. You'll get a stamp set, and let me show you the printout of this stamp set. So here it is here. So it's got a number of sentiments and also the butterfly and the background image as well. So you do get the stamp set. You get some double-sided tape and a clear block. There is a small sheet of dimensionals, a pecan pie ink spot. For tonight, I'll be using my full-size pecan pie ink pad. That way then I can save this one to gift it to somebody who may not have this colour. Okay, so there are also, of course, in here, let me grab them all out. There are some card bases which are pre-scored and printed. So there's a few different ones here. So there's 3 different designs on those. You get, of course, 8 envelopes which have some of the same print on the inside. And there's also sheets of printed die cuts. So some of these are really quite beautiful. So I'm actually really looking forward to making some of these cards. So all different ones to use on the 8 cards. This is printed and die cut vellum. And again, some more die cuts with tags and different elements to use. And there's also one full sheet of tags which have 2 different size rectangles and circles. So that is what's in the kit. And as I mentioned, you do get the instruction sheet. So they have got the instructions here for 2 of the 4 cards. So, 2 of the 8 cards. So I'm going to be doing the 2 that we've got the instruction sheet for, just to make it easy to pick out all of the pieces. So let me move some of this aside. I do need the blue card base. I'm going to need the stamp set and the ink. Let me see, I need one of these smaller rectangle die cuts to stamp the sentiment on. And let me just flick through and find some of these pieces. So some of the die cuts are a really generous size. Okay, so let me see what else I need from here. I also need one of the pieces of vellum. I need one of those, and I've got my pink banner, and I do believe I need this one here, and also one of the pieces of the printed and die cut vellum. So these are so pretty, and the color range is really beautiful. And I think that is all I need for this one. So let me just double check. So I've got my stamp set, I've got my base, I've got my die cuts. So this is going to go like that, and then I've got the die cut that's going to sit over the top. And then this is just all going to be layered. Okay, and then onto the card front. Okay, so let me grab my bone folder. Hi, Mandy. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how this goes. One of the good things also about the instructions is it does show you what adhesives you're using. And I think I need to grab the butterfly that I didn't grab. So look at all these beautiful butterflies on this. And of course, with the stamp set, you can create different cards with those as well. And I'm going to get the envelope, or one of the envelopes, because I am going to be doing a little bit of stamping. It shows on the back. I tend to leave the front of envelopes clean, just so that there's no interference with the address. Okay, so I'm going to grab out the background stamp and pop that onto my block, and I'm going to be stamping this in the lower corner. Now, as mentioned, you do get the pecan pie ink spot. I'll save that to give as a gift, but I am using my full size pecan pie. So this one is just going to be stamped towards the bottom corner there. And I've also got my little butterfly stamp as well. So you could create some really cute other cards using this stamp set once you're finished with the kit. Okay, so, and then I've got my little butterfly as well. Okay, let me close this over. Actually, I think I'll stamp as well the sentiment while I've got the ink pad open, which this one is for you, or you could do thank you. There's a few different sentiments that we have in this kit that you can choose from. I might get a smaller block. Okay, and stamp my sentiment just while I'm going, and then I can close the ink pad up. Okay, so let's put this one together. The idea behind the kits, it's crafting for any level. So even if you're new to card making, this kit is going to be a really beautiful one for you to use. Now, as I mentioned, we do have the instructions. So the first thing I'm going to do is with my, I think it's a hexagon, I'm going to be sticking that one down first, and it's telling me just to use some double-sided tape. So I will use the tape that is in the packet, and of course, as I mentioned, if you don't have clear blocks, it does come with the block as well. So there really is everything that you need in this kit to complete all 8 cards. So this is a tear and tape. So you actually don't even need scissors for it. So 2 pieces of the tape there. And then I'm going to be sticking this down pretty much in the center of the card. Now, the only thing that they don't include in the kits or the card kits is the extra cardstock or papers to complete the inside, which is something that I do like to do. And I'll probably go ahead and do that later. Okay, so that is my first element down. So all of these cards do make a really beautiful kit at the end of it. Okay, my next piece. I've got my pink banner. And again, the instructions, let me hold this up a little bit here. You can see that it does show you where to put the double-sided tape or the dimensionals. Okay, so just a small amount down the middle. And you don't necessarily need to use a lot of adhesive because we've got things going over the top of it. Okay, so this is off to one side around about there. Okay, my next two pieces I've got to go on. So once you've done your little bit of stamping, these come together nice and quick. So I do have my piece of vellum, and vellum is always so beautiful. It does have that little bit of a translucent sort of finish to it. Printed and die cut, so this is nice and easy. So I'm going to again use a small amount of the double-sided tape, which is going to go on around about there. Okay. The other thing you could use on your pieces of vellum are glue dots as well. Okay, so this is going to go, let me get this on, around about there. Okay, my final die cut here with the flowers, I'm going to also put some of my double-sided tape. I guess the other thing, if you want to save your double-sided tape for other projects, use your Tombow, and then you've got your little bit of double-sided tape to use on something else. Okay, so peel that up, and then this is going to go around about there, I think. Yeah, let's go around about there. That'll work. Try not to cover too much of the piece underneath it. Okay, so this is just quite simple layering. Okay, so I think also where they land, they are going to work. So my butterfly is going on next, or actually I might put the butterfly on last. And I've also got my sentiment to put on as well. So I'm going to be using some of these dimensionals. So I'm going to use 2 pieces on each, and 2 pieces behind my butterfly as well. So I think I'll put the sentiment on first, and then I'll be able to position the butterfly as well. So let's go to the For You is going to sit roughly there, and then we've got the butterfly as well. So these are fairly quick cards to do once you've got your different pieces sorted. So you have just the different layers, and this card's got quite a few layers on it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. So it is a really nicely laid card. And of course you have that really pretty envelope as well. So that is card number 1 of the 8. As I mentioned, I'm going to share with you 2 of the cards, and then the other ones I'll put together and share with you another day. Okay, so card number 2. Let me pop this one aside, and let me get first of all the card base, which is more of this pink coloured one. And again, I'm going to get an envelope because I want to stamp the envelope up too. And as I go through these pieces, I will get my pieces of vellum and all my little die cuts just sorted ahead of time so that this card will come together nice and quick as well. So there are just so many beautiful printed and die cut elements to use on these cards. And this one has a beautiful stitched or pierced sort of edging on it. So I need a couple more pieces. Another banner. And let me see if I can find this other flower. Should be here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So we've also got here this little die cut flower with the nice long stem. Okay, and I do need as well one of, I think, the slightly bigger die cut rectangles. Okay, I think I've got all the pieces now. So I am going to start by doing the stamping again. So I do have the sentiment to stamp and also the little bit of decoration on my envelope. So again, it's just using the same stamps and the same ink color. So I will start off with stamping on my envelope with the pecan pie, and I'll also do the butterfly as well, which just finishes off the envelope quite nicely. So for my sentiment, I'm going to be using a different one. So I'm going to use, what does that one say? Sometimes it's a little bit hard to read exactly what it is. I think I'll do this one the same, which is I appreciate your kindness. I think that's quite a nice sentiment to use. Okay, so I have chosen one of the slightly bigger rectangles. Hi, Karine. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so there we go. The stamp. So this one is quite simple. Again, it's just got some of those layers, and I think actually I've forgotten one of the die cuts. I need one more die cut. Let me see if I can find that one. I might do another Facebook Live and share the other cards, but I actually have all the pieces put together ahead of time just to hopefully make the process a little bit more streamlined. Okay, I think I need that piece as well. I think I'm good now. Okay. So let me just pop these to the side, and I will fold my card base in half. And we'll get going with this. Okay, so again, this is layering the elements. I'm just going to pop these on just to figure out roughly where they're going to sit. Okay, so I think the oval is more in the middle. And we've got, again, just some of the overlap with the other elements. See how I go getting this all together. So those two are going to sit like that. I have got my piece of vellum, which is going to just go off to the right hand side, and then I've got my flower that's going to layer over the top, and then I've still got my little butterfly and my sentiment to put on. I think that is going to look okay. So again, I am using the double-sided tape that came with the kit. So I'll get two smaller pieces to put behind the tag. Now the other thing, if you wanted to with these kits, you could add some extra embellishments as well. If you've got some pearls or even some linen thread, something a little bit more, I guess, natural looking. Okay, so that one is going on first. Then I've got my banner. Let me hold it up. So it's got really nice colours in there, and it's also got that really pretty print with the butterflies and the flowers. Okay, so one piece down the middle, as I mentioned before, with the extra elements going over the top. You don't necessarily need to use quite as much adhesive. So that one's going around about there. And again, some double-sided tape behind my oval. Now, if you do struggle to get the little papers off the back of your tape, just run your finger over it to make sure it's pressed down really nicely, or pressed down well. And then we are going to put, don't think I've quite lined this one up perfectly, but that's okay. I'm going to live with it, with where they land. And again, on these two elements, I do have a little bit of the double-sided tape. So just tearing off some small pieces. Might even be too big. Let me see how we go fitting it on. I do have this tiny little bit which I'm going to put a little bit further up. Hopefully this double-sided tape won't be seen too badly through the vellum. On the first card that I did, you couldn't even notice where the double-sided tape was. Okay, so this is going to go around about there. And also some double-sided tape behind the yellow flower as well. If you're using Tombow, you might want to put just a little bit of extra adhesive on the stem. Okay, so let me get the paper off that one, and then it's going to go around about there. Okay, next I do have finally my butterfly and my sentiment, which both of these are going to go on with some dimensionals. So just 2 pieces on each, and this is the sheet of the dimensionals that came in the kit. So if you're traveling, which these are so amazing to travel with, you've got everything you need in the little box or the kit box. Depending on the one you're doing, you may want to put a bone folder and a pair of scissors in. Okay, so this is going across the bottom, and this will also help to hold the stem of the flower down nicely as well. Okay, and then finally I've got just the butterfly. So tonight's Facebook Live is going to be nice and quick. And then there we go. That's card number 2 done. As I mentioned, I'll try and do another Facebook Live or video where I have the remaining 6 cards done, because we actually don't get instructions, so I'll just need to go through and make sure I've got all the elements for each card in the envelope, just to make it a bit quicker and easier. So that is the second card of this kit, which is called Heirloom Arrangements. So let me show you the instructions. Oh, here we go. Here are some more of the cards. So again, each of them have got the different elements that are layered really, really beautifully. They're nice and quick to do, as you can see. How long have I been on? I've been on not quite 30 minutes. But I think once you've got your elements set for each of the 8 cards, they're going to come together really nice and quickly, as I mentioned. And there is everything you need in this kit, including the adhesive. You've got your stamp set, the little ink spot, and also your acrylic block. So perfect for when you're traveling. I will be back with another Facebook Live. Let me see how I go later in the week. Actually, I will be back Thursday, because I do have the free class on Thursday, which is the 2-card class. So I hope you'll join me for that one. Maybe I'll do a second Facebook Live one night next week, just to share the other cards with you. So that's all I've got. Hello, Louise. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this nice, quick Facebook Live with the Heirloom Arrangement kit. And of course, it's an all-inclusive kit. And